Previously, our adventure began with the discoveries of a tiefling named Discovery, who, while investigating a demiplane once used by interstellar pirates, ended up marooned there for several weeks. After her intrepid escape from the inner workings of the fortress, she found herself unable to escape the outskirts of the demiplane, and made an attempt to send a message to her brother for help. Upon receiving this urgent message, Joy Nightshade and Sanctus Dubois sprung into action to make haste over to the abandoned city of Spire, where the only known rift of the demiplane was located. Meanwhile, the former Spire officials pleaded with the prestigious Lionheart household, a sect of nobility carried on by its last surviving member, Jacob Lionheart, for his expertise in all things extraplanar, to investigate the rift above the city and put an end to its destruction of their homeland. Upon arriving into the city, Jacob met up with Tori Baxter, a courier by trade who apparently had some personal business to take care of in the exact demiplane Jacob was sent to inspect. Upon the party collecting themselves in Spire and entering the giant rift in the sky, Joy, Jacob, Tori, and Sanctus met up with Discovery to discuss their next steps to deal with the problematic plane. With their plans set, introductions completed, and nerves properly steeled, the party ventured forth into the black abyss that lay before them, with one member in particular receiving a telepathic message from an unwanted acquaintance.
It's Joy. You never had to. Also, Discovery's first, 3 rolls were 1. Do you remember?
Well, Jacob rolled double 1 at an 11. But,
Tell us the damage.
So, everybody, you're moving out of the inky blackness and finally stepping into at least a somewhat little bit of light. But Joy, the trek seems to take you a little bit longer, as you begin to hear whispers and voices in the distance, familiar ones of time since past. The stumps where your middle fingers once were on both of your hands begin to sting ever so slightly, as you hear the whisper of a very familiar voice in your ear. But only for a split second, enough to make you jerk over to your right shoulder and try to see desperately where it came from. As you hear, "Where are you going, my little fawn?" Before you step through the barrier.
So Joy's sitting on Sanctus's back, just fucking whips it around. He lets go of Sanctus and Discovery, and he turns around, and in the process of turning around so violently, he accidentally loses his balance and falls off of Sanctus. And he just hisses violently.
Sanctus is surprised that he stops his walking for a minute, and his head perks up, and he turns around and cocks his head to the side.
Is everything alright?
Joy.
Discovery stopped moving as soon as Joy let go of her hand.
Joy has taken 2 piercing damage.
Oh my.
Chris used to call you Lil Fawn, didn't he?
Only Joy heard that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm clarifying this just for me.
I don't know if he's ever been called Little Fun in character, but he knows what that means.
Everything okay back there?
It's time to squawk.
And from those 2 piercing damage, Joy, you feel like a very, I'm talking just barely a hair's prick of pain on your right shoulder.
Joy's going to pull back his sleeve and try to check his shoulder to see where this pain's coming from.
And you look and you see these 2, they are the most minute, tiniest beads of blood on your shoulder, equidistant apart from one another, but very familiar to you.
God, fuck you, damn it. He has the audacity.
Wait, no.
Joy wipes his shoulder off and brings his hand up to show that there's blood.
The rest of you do not see any blood.
Joy,
There's no bite.
I don't.
What? Do you not see the blood on my hand?
Shake
No.
head.
It's pink.
Joy?
He's here, Discovery, and we're going to kill him again if I have to.
Oh!
And with that, he
No,
fucking turns and marches the rest of the way out.
All right, and now I'm going to show you guys what the castle actually looks like behind the fog. There we go.
I thought
Yeah.
he was already dead.
He has a demi-plane. Of course he's dead.
If he's here, I'm sunbursting his face. I'm sorry. I love you.
Why are you apologizing? I want you to sunburst his face 10 times.
I'm just saying that I want you to have the kill, and if I get it, I'm going to feel bad because fuck him.
Could we have some context for those who aren't part of the family reunion?
Yes, please.
Nod.
Sorry.
I don't want to hear this again because I'll get pissed if I do, so I'm going to go look for traps. I will remain within eyesight, however. And Discovery goes ahead like maximum 30 feet. And just kind of as she checks for traps just in the entranceway.
You can roll me
story
perception.
short- Long story short,
Investigation.
So for me, investigation is when you're focusing on an object and trying to understand things about it. You are in like a very wide open area, so I would say this is perception. But yes, please continue, Joy.
long story short, I'm a vampire, and the man that turned me is here. He's supposed to be in his own little demiplane, but if his demiplane got eaten by this one, that would mean that he's here. Which means he's playing mind games with me again, and I don't really appreciate that.
I see.
And if we see him, just let you kill him, or Discovery, or
Oh, it's a team effort. It doesn't matter how his suffering comes to him as long as he suffers.
I think I have just the maneuver.
Wonderful.
One day, my friend.
It'll be this day.
It'll be it's this one. It's this one right now. We're going to fight.
It's this one. We're doing it.
It'll
Yes,
happen eventually. I
it'll
swear.
happen. I know it will. But with that,
His last mistake was letting me know that he was here. He didn't learn a very good lesson the last time. He'll learn it this time, I swear to God.
alrighty. So Discovery, you look forward, and I think the first words that would come to mind is, "Damn it!" or some manner of expletives along those lines, as
Dead gods.
the moat of absolute pitch blackness that was around this entire fortress from which you left, and the bridge that was there, seems to have entirely shifted, gone away. You look around and you peer as far as you can, and you catch a glimpse of it. You know you didn't rotate around the fortress this much when you left. You just went straight out. You didn't bother like kiting this entire place to come at it from a different angle. But there you see the bridge in a slightly more dilapidated form on the farthest end from you that you can still see before it goes behind the fortress itself. The rest of this is just moat. You see floating rocks just unaffected apparently by gravity that form little bits and baubles of energy, but every now and again one will break and explode and turn to dust, and another one will reappear as if reconstituting and creating anew. you look into the distance and you hear the deep, thundering sounds of those footsteps that you heard within the fortress. Now full-fledged, and although distant, you see these massive stone structures moving with somewhat humanoid positioned limbs with no heads. They look like earth elementals, but bigger in the distance. You squint to try to see what sort of strange markings lie on them, but they're too far away for you to get a clear view, especially since this entire area is now dim light. Looking at this fortress, you notice that it is significantly more put together. It doesn't look abandoned and dilapidated anymore, but it has significantly more jagged, spiry, filigree and designs on it. It still looks damaged and old and ancient and not very well upkept, but it doesn't look like the ruins that, you once observed for a couple of weeks. Its entire motif has kind of changed, and as you get more towards the top, and unfortunately I wasn't able to alter this on the picture that you're looking at, where you guys see the white on this particular structure, as it elevates to the top, the blackness suddenly gives way to a slight greenish hue that intensifies the higher up you go. That seems to be the only source of light in this entire landscape. So from what you can see, before you there lies some sort of field where space and gravity does not affect, that seems to be moving, pitting against one another, and creating just a field of both destruction and creation. On the right side, in the distance, as far as you can go, there's the bridge that you initially exited on Discovery, and a little bit more dilapidated of shape, and on the left side, clockwise around the fortress, you see the stone golems, basically. In fact, one of them, with that 18, I'll say looks like it's being accosted by slight humanoid shapes.
Cactus and dead gods indeed. All right, this is lovely.
And
Just Joy looked to be done explaining bullshit.
oh yeah,
I mean, it didn't take very long.
yeah, oh yeah. This mode is like a fucking 500-foot wide pit of like darkness just beneath. I forgot that I did not explain that because I've used this fortress before, but Discovery, you're familiar with it. Ah, well, that's
Not what you were going for, but alright.
Did you do this, Jacob?
No. Jeez.
I
didn't do
No.
I feel like somebody's just like already ties a headband, jumps into the abyss.
I mean,
I like this lo-fi, but
No,
if
it
Joy
was.
moves up, he would see that look on Discovery's face, and then, no, you're on a job. You can't be completely crazy right now. It's fine. How much distance is the nearest stone from Discovery, though? Just to make sure my bases are covered.
Like, what size are you thinking? Like, what size stone, or?
Like one that could decently support her weight.
Like on the opposite edge, closest to the.
No. Like on the edge near where she's standing. Like, what's the stone that she could start leapfrogging from?
Alrighty, so
If she was going to do that.
So you get closer to the edge, and you kind of look around, peering with your dark vision. And you notice that towards the ridge of this particular, I suppose, black pit, there are no stones. However, there is a calliope, no, that's probably not the right word, but I'll go with it, a calliope of mashed together and twisted bones that form a ridge around this area.
Alright. assuming that everyone, after explanation is caught up, we can either go towards the bridge, which is how I got out, or we can jump on a bone ridge and try to leapfrog our way across creation destruction pit.
And there's also the option of, so it's like, there's like 3 different equidistant events that are happening from each other. Probably didn't explain it well, but there is a third one where it does appear like there's stone golems in the distance that are being accosted by something.
Yep,
But
we get that one.
Yeah, Discovery didn't mention that one.
oh yeah.
Aww.
She'd kind of look at Joy and perhaps in a low undertone to him would point it out that she is not willing to say it. She's still a little mandatory.
But I didn't do it. You should know this feeling.
Yeah, and she's now on the other side of this feeling, so it's gonna take her a minute to realize. She's not the wisest person around. It's fine.
So, what's the plan, Captain?
I am asking for suggestion because I don't. Personally, my preference is for the bridge, but also the castle rotated because I shot out in a straight line. I did not deviate.
Could we, any, like, motions over to Sanctus? Fly over.
Sanctus nods. Sanctus could indeed have flyover. It would take 2 trips though because of the line.
Oh, and do note that I do have a short sword of warning, just in case. You need to know that, narrator.
And I think somebody else has like a rod of alertness or something.
Yep, that's what Jacob has.
Alrighty. And that warns you if you're going to be ambushed by creatures, right? Or
Let me double check.
I think it. Yeah, it tells you if there are hostile creatures near.
hostile creatures. Got it.
And my weapon just warns of danger.
Alright, magic weapon warns of danger. While this weapon is on your person, have advantage on initiative.
I think it's just perception and initiative.
Weapon magically awakens you and your companions if range, if any are sleeping naturally awake. Okay. So, until you decide to unattune from the weapon, Tori, you're going to get a constant from the weapon of warning.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Alrighty. So with that, yeah, no, it would. So presently you're not being warned by any of your items that you're being accosted by hostile creatures, but those who just say that you'd be warned of danger, it would tell you that this entire place screams danger, like almost every single almost every single inch of it.
More importantly, just we can't be surprised while they're within 30 feet of me.
Yeah.
So, we gonna fly over or...
Joy comes out, guys, I'm gay! And then just because of the sword, you're just like, we know.
No.
Can't be surprised.
Literally came
Can't be surprised.
Can't be
You
surprised.
came here in tight pants and high heels. We know.
We know.
Not to mention the hat.
You are the loudest tiefling I have ever met.
What's wrong with the hat? The hat's awesome.
Yeah, it is. No, she like Joy's got some style points, man, in my book.
Oh, absolutely.
It looks great.
I would fucking hope so.
Yeah, it's
That hat is like 3 feet
that hat is like a kite.
Alright, anyways, can we at least start walking towards the bridge? Because just in case, I'd like to fly over the bridge, so if some weird air shenanigans have happened, we can potentially fall on something a little bit more solid, or, just zigzag over the rocks. I don't trust this place farther than I could throw Joy, and I can't Joy very far at all.
I would be okay with skipping skulls. But, looking through the other members, I'm not exactly too sure. Was the conversation of how dimensional plane like bag of holding and portable hold being distorted, was that said out loud or was that just said
Oh yeah, you guys
out
are
of character?
actually in this place now. Any of you guys who have items that are currently being stored in any extra dimensional spaces, when you went over through the portal, all of your items have immediately been dumped out on the ground.
Ah, son of
Oh.
Yes.
So Joy's not only does Joy have a very large hat, he is also covered in short swords. He's just got a belt full of like 6 swords, I'm pretty sure.
Do you want to put some of them in my backpack?
does a bag of holding still serve as a backpack?
It still serves as a backpack of its appropriate size.
Okay, I can at least hold my potions in there.
Oh, has my potion of strength worn off?
Less than an hour. Close to, maybe.
I would say you probably got like maybe 2 minutes on it left.
Alright, let's just
Eh.
go over this section with the lion then.
Yeah.
Tally-ho! As I would like to, since I didn't get to ride Sanctus before, he would like to pull out a surfboard and just ride on top of it.
Alrighty, you guys are going over this area.
Yeah. Because if there's only 2 minutes left on the potion, and I'd rather the lion get over safely.
Alrighty.
If the lion gets over, Sanctus can bring the lion over and then come back for you guys because you're not as heavy as a lion.
I feel like we should head over first so we can secure a landing before the lion comes by.
Well, yeah.
Is it possible for you to carry the lion and one other person?
I think that was pushing it before.
I think Sanctus will not if you could carry one person because he has the potion.
I can probably take care of my own transportation if I have to.
Same.
Did someone talk about like jumping from stone?
Yeah.
I feel like of all the creatures, a lion would probably be capable of doing such if we're being worried right now.
Yeah, so
It's just
why
that the
doesn't the
stones
lion why doesn't the lion jump across and you just get on me?
If you're fine with that, then we can do that. It's just that the stones keep breaking apart.
Yeah, they keep
Right.
disappearing and then new ones reappear.
And this is over a void, right?
Yeah.
Over a black pit too.
Will the lion be able to safely do that? Or
Carry the lion
Well,
over, and then we can get over with you carrying us. Get the lion over first, with maybe Joy or myself on top. Whoever's the lighter of the two. I will probably be the lighter of the two. Lion and me over first, and then the rest of you follow.
Sounds good.
nod?
We do that.
Neat.
At this point,
I just double checked Joy's armor, because that it has to do with his class. So he's a Dampier, but I changed his tiefling lineage to winged. But you can't use the wings if you're wearing heavy armor, obviously.
You can. So, it's medium armor for tieflings you can wear up to. For other flying races, you can only use light. So for you, for winged tiefling lineage Dampiers, you still have your same flying speed.
So Joy just
I like how
levitates off the ground.
Yeah, I was looking at that like everybody's like, oh, Arakakras are so overpowered. I fucking winged tieflings where it at, bro.
You know, Mother always said that I would someday get the power to fly, and yet...
Joy shrugs. Get good.
Get good.
Discovery picks up a stone off the ground and just innocently flicks it at Joy. And anyways, Sig, Discovery, and Joy, I guess, since Troy can fly by themselves, will be heading over first on top of Sanctus.
Alrighty. So it is presently Sanctus, and who else?
Joy is on back. Sig is in the claws.
No, Joy is flying
Discovery
on his
is
own.
on back. Discovery is
Discovery is on back. Sig is in claws. Joy is flying over. Jacob and Tori are still on the other side.
Yeah, we're chill.
All right.
May as well take the safe route of flying over.
Neat. Man, I don't even have to plan this shit. I don't even, I meant I don't even need to rig this shit. Okay.
Oh my god.
So, you guys begin flying over, being very careful not to touch any of the bones or of the floating rocks or anything like that. Alrighty. Can I get perception checks with disadvantage?
Can,
Okay.
okay. Can Sam roll too? Because he's on Discovery's shoulder right now.
Sure.
I trust Sam's eyes more than I trust my own.
Do you want like from everyone or just those going over?
Just those going over presently, because only they would be able to really feel it, quote unquote.
Okay, so that's
13.
7
What are
for
we?
both of us.
What are we rolling for?
Perception disadvantage. Just notice check.
Okay.
Notice.
Well, that's a great start.
I mean, if it's with hearing, it's advantage, which is still 7.
I got 5 on the die, or a 3 on the die, which is 5.
So our highest roll is a 13.
Neat. Okay. Let me look at my table. First one who can roll d4, please.
4.
4. Alright. Alright, so discovery, because you were riding, you don't have to make this save. However, your life is presently in the palms of Sanctus. Sanctus, you're currently carrying a huge creature. Alrighty. So you guys begin flying over this, this moat. Carefully not to travel too high as to be caught by the light, but not too low as to be sucked into the void beneath, when a bout of darkness just bubbles up from the earth beneath. You're wondering what it is, but it's far too large for you to be able to fly around in such a short period of time. As it engulfs all of you, I need a strength saving throw from Sanctus with disadvantage, because you are very, very, very heavy right now, carrying 2 creatures, and I need a strength saving throw from Joy as well.
Would us on shore be able to see this?
You would be able to see it till the magical darkness envelops them, but they got out a good 100 feet before this happened.
Does this look familiar?
To you? No. Thankfully. Because I think I know what you were thinking about. And one from Joy?
28.
28. Alrighty. Now, Sanctus. You now have a very precarious option, my friend, because the DC was higher for you.
Awesome.
You can choose to fail and fall, and everybody goes down into the darkness, and whatever happens there. You can drop the lion, or you can try to make a dex check to get your passengers onto a floating rock before you get sucked under.
I think Sanctus is the kind to attempt a dex check.
Alrighty. Go ahead and either make me acrobatics or a dexterity save of your choice.
Okay. No dex-related things for this bird.
Oh my god. And with a 20, you would all see as the darkness fog fades. Sig is barely grasping onto a boulder. Discovery, you are violently thrown onto a separate rock, and Sanctus is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Did he get pulled downward?
Big magical
Or is he
darkness.
just gone?
Big magical darkness cloud came up. You felt a very violent, sudden jerk. You heard the lion grumble and roar as it tried to grab onto something as you jet downwards. You landed rather hard on a rock, although not enough to cause damage. And then you just heard the screech of Sanctus as he just into the pit.
Yeah, bad times.
Joy's muttering to himself midair. He's stopped moving. Now he's just muttering to himself in midair.
The first thing Discovery does is point down and use cantrip message. Sanctus, can you hear me?
Sanctus, you cannot hear them.
Sanctus cannot hear you. You get no response.
Please try again later. Do we see that on our shore? Like Sanctus is now gone.
Yep, you saw this big cosmic darkness burp of black fog, and it went up, and then it just away, and 4 became 3.
We need to get over there.
Yep, agreed.
Alrighty. So, presently, both of you can go ahead and roll me just straight d20s.
Sure thing.
8.
8 and 10. Oh, I didn't see the 10 for some reason. Okay. Jacob and Tori, the two paths that show up for you between the floating rocks are... Alrighty. Where did my table go? Don't have me recall it from memory, please. God damn it. Alrighty. So, Jacob, you see before you, and Tori, you see on your end. Tori, you see a very large humanoid corpse begin to fall and bubble up from the ground, and it seems to be moving towards where Joy and Discovery are. And it seems to be a relatively hefty platform, although you're not exactly sure how old the corpse is. Jacob, you see a number of rocks that just kind of form. Each one of them is about the size of, I would say, a shoe, and there are several hundred of them. However, they look fairly lightweight, and you feel like you would have to move quick across them. But each one of these paths aren't exclusive to the other person. So what you see is big corpse of humanoid, just entirely bones, slowly floating away from you and towards the other half of the party, getting farther and farther away, and then a bunch of really mini floating stepping stones.
Many preference.
Oddly enough, the corpses.
Alright, I'll take the stones.
Neat. Alrighty, so from Jacob, you look at this corpse, it's slowly getting farther away. Right about this point, you would say it's a good 20 feet away from you. But it's still going towards them. What are you trying to do?
Running start, jump onto it, I guess.
Alrighty. And what's your present strength score?
27.
Alrighty. So with your 27, you vault and you fly into the air, and then you come down and you land on this skeleton which immediately rotates 180 degrees, and you find yourself hanging with both of your palms, grabbing each one of the opposite sides of its rib cage. I need a strength saving throw or athletics check.
Yo. Fuck yeah.
Damn.
Oh, I'm not even gonna do the follow-up bad thing. That's really.
Follow-up bad thing?
There was a possible follow-up bad thing that does not deserve it. So 36. You grab onto this, and it sinks a little bit under the weight. You feel the bones begin to crunch underneath your palms as you realize, oh, I need to let up just a little bit. And you let up, and then you quickly pull yourself up. You wrap your legs around where its spinal cord is, and you're just kind of floating underneath this body like, don't worry, I'm coming, guys, at a speed of about 5 feet around.
Here comes Golden Boy.
Here comes Golden Boy. What is Tori doing?
I will be trying to, I guess, hop, skip, jump away through these stones.
Alrighty, I need an acrobatics or dexterity saving throw.
Could I use... Hold on. Features. No, Elegant maneuver. You can use a bonus action turn to gain advantage on the next acrobatic or athletics check on your next turn, or same turn.
Elegant maneuver, is that a feat?
No, it is the swashbuckler.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. You can bonus action before you do it and just do it.
Alright, then I will do, and you said acrobatics?
Yeah, or a dex save. Outstanding. So you guys just dun, 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 just suddenly you see
Fighting me,
right next to each other, side by side. Jacob, you fly into the air, pouncing like the king of the beasts onto this corpse, grabbing yourself, turning yourself over, and then eventually getting yourself back on top of this the skeleton, as if you were sitting on a surfboard paddling out into the ocean, and you're just going out further as like the skeleton looks at you. The skeleton's skull kind of looks at you, and its mouth kind of slightly hangs ajar as if to go, wow. Tori, on the other hand, is like Naruto.
I have an actual surfboard.
Tori, on the other hand, you are literally surfing on what appears to be a wave of small stones, and just to kind of like style on it. Both of you are moving and floating forward at a speed of about 5 feet a turn until you get there, and you manage to both land on a medium belt, kind of like Saturn's ring that revolves around this entire fortress, and find solid ground on a rather hefty stone that holds your weight.
That was pretty gnarly, dude.
We should have just done that from the start.
I could not have done that even on a good day.
This is why we sent them over on the flying creature. Maybe we should have gone first.
It might have gone better.
We can speak of that later. Where is Sanctus?
Did my sending go through?
Your sending, let me check.
I mean...
Oh no, you're in the field.
Yeah, remember? You're sending
That's right.
them
I think he's
through.
also in the field.
Okay.
That's why Discovery was hopeful it would work.
So meanwhile, Sanctus, I'm just gonna
Hi.
drag you over there. There we go.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Me. Nice.
There you go.
Well,
You get company with the burb. All right.
yeah, my bird can come with me.
All this is happening.
Okay. Nice. This is really fantastic. So, what do I see?
So you currently are in a rather large, very gray and dense room. Its lining is full of like rubble. Well, it's full of gravel that you imagine is rubble from the surrounding collapsed infrastructure. Presently above you, you see this roof of kind of incorporeal, like writhing mass of. It's not the same smoke that you've seen before. It's this very liquidy, think like venom-esque symbiote kind of liquid roof above you. It seems to be constantly changing and writhing in shape. To your left and to your right, you see 3 statues each, so 6 in total, each stacked on top of each other, and the ones on top smaller than the last, as if creating something of a stone snowman. These particular statues are in the shapes of bulls' heads that are stacked on top of one another, each on a pedestal with a mouth agape open. In the center of this... oh, and there's also one to the north, my bad. So there's 9 total. In the center of this room, there's a massive bone pile of several skeletons, and in the center you see what appears to be a pit mote, a singularity of darkness that is concentrated on this pedestal, hovering about a foot off the ground from it. It seems to draw everything in this room very gently towards it. All right, yeah, you are now in Bone Zone, USA. That was a terrible thing to say.
Do you want to try another one? Do you want to try a different one?
Do you want to try it? No, I mean, I'm not going to backpedal off of that. You can, yeah, you are in the Bone Zone.
Sanctus is not in Bone Zone, thank you very much.
I don't know. I mean, you don't know what he's into.
Could we like vote on it? Could we vote on not being in the Bone Zone?
So who believes that we should jump down the pit to see if he enters, and who believes we should go through the Death Castle?
We should see if our compatriot is safe.
If we actually see him go downwards, or did the mist just come up and fold around him?
Nobody saw him go downwards, but the Sig and Discovery definitely felt it.
He got pulled down. I felt it.
Okay.
Did I get the sending or no?
No.
Okay.
Okay, well, I am about to jump down there unless any of you are going to suggest something different.
Does anyone have a feather fall spell prepared? Because I don't.
Is
Never one that I've learned.
You've been here for a week and... Okay, I see.
There were other spells that were more archaeology inclined, and I don't often jump off of cliffs, despite what people might tell you.
Is there anything around us?
There is
Of immediate note.
Of immediate note, there is presently the other half of the void, after crossing which you get to the fortress itself. There's the void beneath you, there are the stones that you're on, and then there's the place that you came from. There's still the other activities going on, but it might be a little late to start trying to pilot yourself over there.
Okay, well, I'm not hearing any alternatives, and we have a dear compatriot of ours missing, so...
I mean, our goal was to go down, wasn't it?
Yeah, he jumped.
Also able to fly, so... I don't have that.
Well, if I had a mom, I bet you would say, if you see your friends jumping off a cliff, just join them.
I do have, if we're willing to sit here for an hour, I do have a cloak of the badge that I can lend someone else.
I mean, I'd rather just get this over with, and if we die, well...
Discovery,
Oh,
the
jumps
rock.
off, Jacob.
Discovery, the rock behind you disappears.
Oh.
Just as a friendly reminder of how much time you might have on these things.
Yeah, alright. Hey, Sig! You wanna come with me? And...
The line grumbles.
Yes, you're very good. Sam, Discovery gives him a kiss and vanishes him for the moment. He's not He's no longer with her.
You see that
So
the
if she
spell.
dies-
Banishment.
Yeah.
Actual banishment, but popped back into the familiar like realm. So if she dies, he will not die.
You see that doesn't work either.
Oh my god.
Sam, because Discovery is after she does that, she's not looking. She like pressed a kiss and then looked away, so she wouldn't see him go, and just takes a step off the rock.
Quick question: would that mean that if she did it outside and went into the circle, Sam would appear?
No, but it does mean that you would not be able to summon Sam.
Noted.
Okay.
It's like this place eats all other planes or demi-planes within it. And makes it a part of itself. So you're banishing Sam back to this place.
Oh.
I hate that because Discovery just did a little steppy.
Yeah, Jacob has already jumped.
And I would have followed him because that's what my mom probably would have said.
Alright! Outstanding.
Do you think this'll hurt? That looks like it'll hurt.
That's how much it would have hurt if I was an asshole.
Oh, I'd still be alive!
That actually take. I'll take it.
No, because I'm not an asshole and I didn't set this thing up to be that way. Alright. Is everybody going down or is it just certain people? Did Joy jump? Did Joy fall or something? No? Yes? No? Do I have to individually drag other people over?
Joy, did you jump?
Yeah.
And all of you should be able to see the map now. Tell me if you can't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sanctus is sort of encapsulated by the singularity. At first, like when he first got down here, I want to say that he was here, but because this thing has been pulling him closer, he's like pulled 5 feet closer to it as he's like inspecting it.
It's
Kind
it's,
of not really.
it's like it's like a very delicate vacuum towards itself. It's not like a you're coming. It's not like a get over here. Like if you still have the strength to pull back if you want to.
Yeah. I think it's kind of one of those things where, like, you know how sometimes, like, when you're sitting up, you, like, progressively start to slouch because, like, gravity is having an effect on you and you don't really notice it because it's happening slowly?
Definitely.
That's kind of
definitely.
what's happening. Like, Sanctus has been, like, standing in one spot for so long and looking at this thing that he hasn't really realized that he's been kind of, like, magnetized towards it. Like, he'll be fine, but, like, he's just in the zone.
I hate that you called me out for slouching. You didn't even try.
Oh. I wasn't talking about you. I'm just saying, man. Sometimes it be like that.
You think that's like that right now?
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a you problem.
Alright. Looks like everyone's here. Where the hell do we go from here?
Sanctus twitches his head. When he hears people starting to fall, he like turns around and he like twitches his head to the side and like flaps his wings. Like what?
And
You fell down a cliff, we would fall down too.
everybody, they're such good friends. Everybody just kind of falls through the ceiling for you, Sanctus, as holes in the ceiling form for just but a moment for each one of them to appear through, and then immediately it just and closes back up.
Just as you would fall down a hole for us, we fall down a hole for you.
A lot of bones here. I don't want to be standing on them, so we're just going to keep moving. Is there any writing? Oh, it looks like there's runes on the thing. Excuse me, raise your arm, please.
Alrighty.
But yeah, I don't like it.
It's
And-
got runes, though!
And list of people who have been here. Okay.
Not me.
Ooh, wait. Okay, yeah, okay. No, this
I
works.
can't remember if I've been here or not.
I don't think I've been here.
Oh, no. I was talking to myself about something else.
Oh,
But
joy.
yes. So,
The list of people are all the bodies here.
everybody's been here before.
Oh god.
Really?
Alrighty, so let me just make sure I've gotten this correct. Yep, okay. Why didn't you not do that? Okay. Come on. Do the thing that I want, please. Computer, please.
Computer.
Computer, do that thing that I want.
Enhance. Zoom in and enhance.
Zoom in
Colonel.
and Colonel. Colonel.
Colonel.
Colonel.
That's really good, actually. Okay. So, out of the ones that are prepared. Okay. So, and unfortunately, I couldn't prep one for Sanctus, and unfortunately, I don't know much about Jacob. I was planning for 2 other people to be here that unfortunately couldn't make it today. So, you guys might feel a little bit left out here, and I apologize.
It is okay.
So, with that, Discovery. Discovery, you look at these runes, and as you get closer to this orb, you go and you squint and you try to read the runes. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. This particular area is foreign to you, so I wouldn't say
It
this
would
one
be a
is.
24.
Yeah, it would be a 24. Go take the
sorry.
first one. Yeah, not a
I
13,
keep
please,
forgetting to
God.
check.
Okay.
I keep forgetting to click back to normal things.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
fine.
it's been a bit since roll 20.
Sorry, I just saw Jacob's gif. Okay. As Discovery, you look at these ruins, and they say, "To those who have fallen, need not be forgotten. A bond in life, also a bond in death."
Those who have fallen need not be forgotten. Abandon life.
A bond,
abandon
no,
death.
no. A bond in life can be a bond in death.
Like a bond.
Bond in life.
A bond, like a stocks and bonds.
Or the bond of siblings.
Yeah, the bond of siblings.
That doesn't resonate super well with her. She's gonna take steppies back.
Could
But she would mutter it out loud for everyone to hear.
Tori start looking around the room, trying to look for the next way out or exit?
Tori, these walls seem fairly solid. Go ahead and go ahead and use you can roll a perception or investigation check.
Sure thing.
24. Yeah, that's a 24. Sorry, I thought you might have rolled lower than a 10. Alrighty. So you look at these walls, and as you specifically begin kind of walking around, you would notice a number of these skeletons' faces appear to melt and then reconstitute for no apparent reason. As if you blink and you rub your eyes and they go back to being just normal bony skeletons. But you seem to take note, in particular, of the 3 statues that are in the room. And you get a very uncomfortable gut drop feeling, as does Discovery and Joy in this room. As if something is constantly haggling you in the back of your mind about your own mortality here. Jacob, Sig, and Sanctus seem to be relatively okay. But after you walk the perimeter of the room, whether it be that you just want to go back next to your compatriots or the pole of the orb that's in the center, you walk back towards it.
I think Discovery backs up enough to more. If she wanted, easily reach for Brother's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this place is weird.
It's
Getting real
not.
bad vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Sanctus Bird, while they were looking around, I think he picked up one of the bones with his claw and threw it up at the weird ghost ceiling
Why?
to see what would happen.
Alrighty. You take a bow and you throw it up at the weird ghost ceiling. It seems to go into the goo, and then it just slowly sinks into the ceiling.
Ooh. Weird. Yeah, not great. Sanctus, as a huge creature, like starts like crouching because it doesn't want to accidentally touch the ceiling. That would be bad.
Maybe smart.
Yeah, you are a huge creature, so it is a little close, but the ceiling is about 25 feet up.
That's
Just
fine.
don't fly.
I do not like this place whatsoever.
Do we have a way out? Cause
Maybe. And Discovery's gonna approach again. She's gonna leave Sam with Joy. And take step B.
Take a step. Hey, already. And are you looking at the sphere while you do that?
I think she can't help but look at it.
Yeah.
She
It's kind of
doesn't want to be.
it's kind of the shiniest thing in the room, but you know, you take a step over towards this sphere, and you're looking at the pitch blackness of it, and every single
Well,
step.
it's nice to meet all of you.
see you in the next life.
Didn't even make it into the fortress. Died.
Oh man, we're not even in the fortress.
No.
We're in like a shed outside.
You. As Discovery, you suddenly realize what this place is. Every single step you take towards this thing, you feel your own sense of survival instinct go crazier and crazier, but your draw towards this particular object is too great to ignore, especially considering that it might only be your only way out of here. As you step towards this pitch black floating sphere, it floats up to about eye level. Instead of being a foot off the ground of the pedestal, it floats exactly in front of your head, and you see your reflection in it, where there previously wasn't one. With that said, the bones underneath the altar tend to rattle a little bit and fly up, more going into the ceiling and sinking in slowly. As you feel goosebumps travel down the back of your neck as the reflection that you see slowly changes to a person you thought had died in a different plane.
Do I see a Dake?
And stepping, and with this, some goo drips down from the ceiling into the sphere, and it expands and takes shape into humanoid form. As a creature steps out of the sphere, in Discovery, both you and the creature wince at the same time as you clutch at your right arm, as you feel a burning pain, which especially for you as a tiefling is... it's rare to feel it at such an intensity, as a sort of a brand appears on your right forearm, as well as this creature's forearm. And you see the familiar face of Lady Adalia Aconite from when you were trying to rescue Dalma from that one dark god. You remember memories begin coming to flood back to you of this lady while you were still in this other life, viciously chasing after the soul of her daughter to try to resurrect it. And when she finally got it, she exchanged it for her own, so that her daughter could have a second chance at life. And the words that she spoke to you begin echoing in the back of your mind. Make sure she's safe. Make sure she's safe. Make sure she's safe. Although, admittedly, this Lady Aconite seems a little bit more well-rested and not as psychotic looking. Almost as if she's had a good nap for a while. Before the pain subsides, and she blinks a couple times, and the black pools that her eyes begin to take shape and form into humanoid pupils once more. She breathes in and goes, "What? Where am I?"
You are not who I expected to see. Great, wonderful. Alright. Discovery just starts moving away.
And
Who
you
is this?
Lady Adelia Aconite. She was the stepmother, I want to say, of a dear friend of mine who tried to chase down the friend in order to trade her soul for her daughter's, and then ended up trading her life for her daughter's instead.
Oh, it's all coming back to me. Yes. You're that.
And you are actually this lady, and not some odd abomination pretending to be her. Not that that question would really clear anything up, but you know.
And she kind of like looks down to herself and then kind of looks back up at Joy and kind of shrugs a little bit and says, "I remember the events. I remember trying to kill her." And she points at Discovery.
But quite unsuccessfully.
Yes. Your one friend was quite persuasive in that fact, kept me from doing so. But nonetheless,
I can also be rather persuasive, seeing as she's my sister. So
definitely.
maybe keep any murderous tendencies to her.
Presently, I find myself rather at peace with this whole situation. I understand that my goal was accomplished in life, and I died, and I've believed that there would be nothing else. And she kind of like looks around the room at all of the bodies. But that place where we were, it's gone. But it feels like it's here. And now, and then she kind of looks over to Discovery. Do you know how my Rosie is doing?
The last that I heard, she was fine. She was spending time with Donna.
And with that, a slow smile comes to her face, and she lets out a sigh of relief.
I will say that I have been trapped here for several weeks, so my information may not be the most up-to-date. I'm just putting that out now, so if it comes to light that she is not in fact fine, I did not lie to you. Covering my bases here.
At the very least, I can feel it. She is alive. And I sense your honesty. And she kind of puts up her right forearm, and you see the brand. And suddenly you get this really odd sense of maternal fulfillment within you, Discovery, as if you were feeling it yourself. You seem very calmed, happy, and satisfied for some strange reason. That entire feeling of mortality and anxiety that you had before almost entirely vanished in this area. And you would all watch as this statue over here begins to crumble, break, and shatters into 1,000 tiny pieces, scattering its stones among the rocks and the rubble of the bones.
As it shatters and crumbles, anyone who cares to would notice that as it does so, Discovery looks peaceful for a few moments, and then there is a wave of grief and longing that just overtakes her for a life that was not hers but could have been.
And you watch as just Lady Aconite kind of clutches at her chest for a minute around where her heart would be. And she stumbles back a little bit. For the time being, it appears that I have a debt to repay to you. For without your assistance, my daughter would never have gotten her chance at life.
I will
So
not
you...
turn down your aid, but you do not have to just because. And Discovery just kind of holds up her arm, showcasing the brand.
And I think you would find that I do. And she comes over and she pinches her right forearm, and Discovery, you feel a sharp stinging pain.
As she comes over, Discovery would just very quickly, very subtly message her. I'm sorry for the emotions you'll feel from me.
I am no stranger to grief. However, if you wish, I could be a shoulder to cry on. I know you have no relationship with me that is positive, but I understand the feeling of loss.
Those tears have been shed, but thank you. Alright, who's up next for their lovely meeting with someone who they have a bond with?
Wait, what?
Joy takes several steps back.
Joy, if you were feeling what I was feeling, the weird calling to your own mortality, I think you have to be the one who goes up there. It's going to be
shit.
so much fun.
Does Tori also feel that?
Yes, you do, Tori. You actually feel it quite strongly.
No!
Hey, Joy!
There's so many options that I'd just really rather not investigate.
Well,
Joy, I thought I was going to see someone else. So, you know what? Man up!
Yeah, Joy. Man up.
Swear to God, I'm going to take your clothes and dye them all black.
Joy man up, Tori says as his knees are
Joke's
presently
on you.
knocking. Just
Joke's on you. I think these blue clothes would look good in black.
You look sallow and washed out in black. I don't know who's been lying to you, but you do.
I look cool in black.
speaking of Joy's clothes, Sanctus, takes his beak and, picks up the back of Joy's shirt and, starts carrying him towards the singularity.
Thank you, Sanctus.
Joy, your
Sanctus dismissively waves at you.
Joy, the sense of dread that you're beginning to feel intensifies 100-fold the closer you get to this sphere.
If Joy looks particularly like he's about to cry or scream, Sanctus will stop and probably wave his feathers bro, it's gonna be okay.
You don't have to, Joy, but it will probably get us out of here faster.
I question, why do we think this?
The runes, what they said, and then when I did it and she appeared, apologies for the casual dismissal, one of the walls crumbled, revealing that the only way we're probably going to get out of here is 4 people going up and having bonds revealed.
Yeah, Joy, you go.
And I assume, based on general demeanor, that Tori, Joy, and I are feeling our own mortality very keenly at the moment, and you and Sanctus are not. Whether or not that's because Sanctus is a giant raven remains to be seen.
Which is particularly uncomfortable to me, I will remind you.
Yes.
I
As
haven't felt my own mortality in over 1,000 years.
as Discovery
Yes, you're oldest dirt, we understand.
I took a long nap, okay?
As Discovery, you have found that that this particular place is in fact a crypt of sorts.
She does very much say you needed it, by the way, as you continue walking closer, and Joy can tell just by the way she says it that she's doing it to bring a sense of normalcy. She is very much shook. She don't want to be here.
If Sanctus sets Joy down on the step,
Yeah, he put you down and he just kind of goes to the side.
Joy marches up to the orb and then tips his hat down and doesn't look into the orb. He doesn't want to see who's in there.
Sanctus squawks, nudges you with one of his big wings gently.
It's not working.
He's gonna wait to see if something comes out of the sphere first.
Well,
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna wait
not
to see.
working.
You're gonna
He
wait
has
to see
look
without
at
looking at
to
it.
Make it work.
It's not.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Alright, he will then slowly look up at the orb.
And it chimes out an infernal. I was supposed to do this before, but I forgot how my own room works because I didn't write it down on the server. It's in my notes. Chimes out. That which is dead will be made new. A bond you share to follow you. And you look and you see your reflection, and it slowly changes to that of somebody who you disdain quite a bit. You
That
can
which will be dead will be made anew.
a bond you share to follow you. And the bones fly up into the ceiling once more. The goop pumps down into the orb. It grows molds into the shape of a humanoid. This one more masculine than the last.
Is that Chris?
As you are going to see, the face of... It's very strange to you, Joy, as you look at this person, as they are both very familiar to you, but very foreign from what you are used to. It is the face of Christopher, but it is not
He
pale.
turns and he fucking walks. He stomps down the stairs.
Is that Christopher?
It is Christopher, but his face isn't pale and vampiric. His ears aren't pointy, and his eyes aren't a devilishly red color. He seems very much alive and very much not vampiric. And he comes out of this orb and goes, "Oh, goodness!" And he just, puts both of his hands on his knees. He goes, "What? Where? Where am I?" And he turns around and looks at everybody.
Joy, do you mind if I punch him? I think he might feel it then. But,
So Joy is standing at the bottom of these stairs with his fists balled up, and then he suddenly turns back around and marches back up the stairs. He goes, "You have the fucking audacity to come out of an orb at me? Are you serious?"
It's I assure you, I've done nothing to come. And he just steps back just a little bit. And he kind of smirks and
That earns him a hearty slap across the face.
do it again!
and you slap him and he just kind of holds his cheek and he goes, "Yes, I know. I deserve that one, but I honestly could not resist. I apologize.
You deserve a stake in the heart, but something tells me that would work anyway.
Cut off his stick first.
Oh no, most certainly, that would kill me." And he kind of looks up to you up and down and says, "Oh my god. Joy. It is you."
Good joy. Yes. Who the fuck else did you think was sitting in front of you? Kalembor? You don't know a great many pink tieflings, sir.
Slap him again.
Oh, I don't.
If
But-
it didn't hurt the first time, slap him again.
And he just kind of tilts his head to the side and looks at you closer and says, "You're different than I remember. Where's that lovely afro I love so much?"
Joy doesn't even dignify that.
Have I done something to upset you? I apologize, I was just having a wonderful nap over in the glades.
upset
It appears that I have.
you? Do I need
He's
to
human.
go over again how you murdered me?
And with you saying that and feeling this rage, Joy, you get a legitimate sense of cluelessness as your brand has now appeared on your right forearm as well as this gentleman. But he feels your rage and your anger and your hatred, and he is quite quizzical at it. He goes, "No, I remember. I did kill you. I turned you and locked you in a crypt for 1,000 years. Why would I do that?
Because you're a scientific psychopath? Funny?
Because you're an awful human.
Interesting? Because you forgot I was there? Because you don't care? Gods if I know. The only person who would have known was you.
And he kind of takes a step back a little bit, and he said, "No, I would never do that to you. And you see him, his face kind of turns a little bit red, and he goes, "But I did. I did do that. And then I did so much more. I've always been scientifically curious, but to go as far as to mutate and maim and turn and kill, the bloody sacraments, the children, the screams, why?" And then, you see him grab his head, and Joy, you get the biggest migraine of your life as you go deaf for but a moment, and you hold both of your temples in pain, as does he, as if you feel the presence of somebody else. But immediately he snaps out of it, says, I don't know what's going on, and I do know who you think I have, but I still don't know what's going on. That's not me. It is me. It's, and then you see, he's like, on the edge of tears, and you feel the sorrow in his eyes, and then you feel anger emanating from him, and it's unforgivable. Why? Such unbelievable atrocities. And this line of questioning is only cut off by the statue in the topmost corner suddenly cracking, shattering, and then breaking and falling to the ground. And you all feel the entire room shift and quake and begin to break.
That probably means that we only have one more person to go before this is dealt with.
It's me, isn't it?
If you are feeling that sense of mortality, then probably yes. And Discovery's just gonna go over next to Joy.
Alright. It's just
Who are you so afraid of seeing?
that's the thing. I have no idea, but seems some pretty. The fear of unknown is pretty big, Alright, let's get this over with. As with some disgruntled frustration, he will go up to see what exactly this is. Come on, big money, oh whammy.
And you look at it,
Yeah.
and your eyes go black for a moment as you feel this intense feeling of terror and loneliness. Not from your own situation or the fact that you could die, but from being alone, from being abandoned, and from wondering if it's all over and that everything that you've done has meant nothing. But obviously, you wouldn't feel such a way. I mean, you're Tori. You're the greatest courier in the world. I've accomplished many things. I've built a soul. I've built a child. I've gone on many a quest, delivered to many a things, and
I don't even remember
been
half
successful.
of
But you find yourself bringing tears to your eyes. But with everybody else, you watch as all the bones begin to shift around. And none of them seem to fly into the ceiling like with everybody else. The bones remain the same. Stay where they are. But a single drop of ooze falls from the ceiling. Not pitch tar black as it was before, but a much more opalescent and greenish color falls within the sphere and drops out onto the ground. Doesn't even take the shape of a humanoid. As Tori, next to you, you feel this loneliness, this terror, and it's now all too familiar to you. You see a small, blobulous little creature.
Oh.
It sits on the ground. It waddles around and it looks up at Tori.
He has a couple tears in his eyes as he falls to his knees, puts his hands down on the ground to cup the little gelatinous friend. Gloria, I meant to come sooner. What happened to you?
And you feel this wave of confusion and frighten. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check real quick. As it calms within your grasps and almost snuggles into your palm, its wave of confusion subsides and instead feels a feeling of nostalgia, but concern for your safety. It doesn't seem to be able to speak, but it communicates to you with its feelings. This conflicting tearing of emotions, so happy to see you, frustrated to not be able to form fully fleshed thoughts, but also wishing you had not come for your own sake.
Gloria, why didn't you just come with us? As he holds it close to his chest, this short meeting of his friend was a once in a lifetime. Why didn't you come?
And there is this feeling of burning in your fur. A sigil, but one entirely different from the one that Joy and Discovery both have now. The sigil looks like that of a dragon, specifically its fangs, and it glows a deep green rather than a dull blackish color. It's less like a tattoo and more like a curse mark of sorts. And you feel this sense of duty and responsibility to complete something, but not 100% sure what that is. Just the feeling like something must be done. And you guys watch as the final statue in the crypt begins to crumble. Lady Aconite takes a step back over towards Discovery and says, "Oh boy, let's all try to stick together on this one. If one of us dies, we might all die." And all of the bones begin to, and the ground beneath everybody's feet begins to crack and break and shift as bones begin to fall into these fissures. The goo overhead begins to subside and fade, and it sinks into the ground, flowing like a waterfall into the fissures beneath, before the ground gives way and you all slowly get this feeling of downward acceleration as it brings you closer and closer towards the unknown. The sphere expands, engulfing everyone in the room, and you all feel this moment of absolute silence and thoughts. For a moment, Discovery, you can hear Lady Aconite's thoughts, the thoughts of a dying mother, thoughts of regret of what once could have been but wasn't, the thoughts that she would never get to spend any time with her daughters, but is at least very appreciative that they get to live their own life. And her eyes connect over towards yours, Discovery, and this very proud, noble woman, who once held such a position of power and status, now brought down low, her heart laid bare, open to somebody who is little more than an enemy in life. She's embarrassed and flustered, and confused and agitated as to why this would be her fate, but resigns herself to it for her past sins.
If she can hear Discovery's thoughts.
She would be able to.
There is a constant stream of just worry in the back of Discovery's head. Like, is Joy okay? Is Sam okay? The other two, Tori and Sanctus and Sig and Paige and Jacob, are they okay? Are the three ghosts or spirits or whatever they are they okay? But in the forefront being desperately trying to be re-hidden, re-shelved in the bookcase that makes up Discovery's mind, is a photo album, and it has one memory open of Zeke sitting his head in Discovery's lap and just going, if we're ever going to have kids, they are going to be taking after me and not you, because I swear every time I say the word Discovery, you make a joke about it. And Discovery just laughing and going, we'll see.
I'm sorry, you said which, who's... I'm sorry, I forgot the context of...
Zeke is
Zeke.
her dead husband.
Yes. Yes. No, I do know Zeke. I just wanted to make sure that you said that I've heard the name right, and that you didn't say somebody else, because otherwise I may have to wildly rewrite something.
No, it was Zeke.
Fuck my hand! I've shown it, but no. But with that,
No, it was Zeke, and just she also feels the desire that Discovery, or like the decision Discovery's going to reach out to Rosie and just check on her.
with that, you understand the desire to see your dead husband again, but also the kind of sourness that is the re-meeting with this lady who you've known for probably a couple of days before she was unceremoniously killed. But a person whose feelings, in a lot of ways, were at one point similar to yours, but was able to change her fate. If not perfectly, as she has been dead. She kind of looks at you and stops thinking all these selfish thoughts about herself in her own predicament, and her eyes lock and meet with yours for a moment, Discovery, and she realizes the pain and the heartbreak that you have gone through yourself, and it's all too anguishing. She feels bad for having only thought about herself, but also she reaches out her hand and taps you on the shoulder, and believes, although it may be inappropriate, you are so much more than an annoying little tiefling I thought you were. With that,
You
Joy...
are the mother I thought you were. You are the mother I thought you were.
I do not...
That is the highest compliment I could possibly pay you.
When mothers say that they would die for their children, know that I was the one who actually pulled it off.
There's just a low chuckle from Discovery. And, like, even though she can feel, like... No, we'll save that for later. It'll be fine.
Definitely.
Go ahead and go to Joy.
Joy, your meeting with this particular individual has sparked so many confusing and anguishing feelings of just rage and hatred. You look at this man and you see that rat bastard of an individual who dared kill
I was
you.
just gonna end it at rat, and I was like, yeah, no, you're right.
That rat!
He's a rat bastard. He doesn't deserve the respect of just rat.
He doesn't deserve the respect of he is the bastard of a rat.
There is an honor that comes with being called a rat.
There is an honor that comes with being called a rat. He's not even good enough to be the bastard of a rat. But no, it's... And you feel this hatred towards it. And meanwhile, this guy looks like he's on the verge of some sort of identity crisis-based nervous breakdown. And there are just these thoughts of echoing in his head back and forth of, my desire and my loves. That is what it is. I love, but I can't. I do not deserve love. I have done too many terrible things to be forgiven in this life or the next. Is this a chance? Is this a chance at another life? I know. Suffering is all that befalls me. Suffering is all that I deserve. I should drink deeply of the bitter poison that I've brewed for others for so long. And that is what it will be. Starting with him. And he looks at you, Joy, and you see this gut-wrenching look of anguish in his eyes as you see him try to hold back tears. I do not deserve these tears that stream down my face. And he wipes them away. Though I've just regained the ability to cry. For whatever you think of me, you are justified in that. And although I feel as if I would never do such horrid abominations, the fact remains that I have. Whatever recompense in the short amount of time that we may have together that I can provide, know that I will. But until then, I do not think for a moment I deserve your forgiveness. And likewise, he can begin to hear your thoughts as well on the situation, and he grows quiet.
So one of his thoughts was that he deserves all the suffering that befalls him. Something to that tune. And I think when he thinks that, it sort of reverberates within Joy. Not that Christopher deserves all of the suffering, but that Joy believes that he deserves to suffer as well. And while there are the obvious overlaying, the surface level waves are rage, there is something deeper that resonates And it is suffering. And Joy thinks about that for a minute. Like, yeah, he heard Christopher, but he's thinking about suffering now that it's been mentioned. And Joy's attitude towards this suffering is a hot take. He doesn't have negative feelings about it. Like, he's not, like, enthusiastic, but he's actually fine with the idea of suffering and deserving to suffer. And Christopher gets... He kind of gets an inside look at how Joy thinks of all of the awful and terrible things that have happened to him as a result of Chris murdering him and turning him into a vampire. And Joy actually kind of thinks of it as just like a grotesque art piece sitting on a wall. Like a statue of a murder, or like a painting of the Barovian castle Ravenloft. All of these things that have happened to him is just like a form of art to him. And so while he is angry at Chris that Chris betrayed him, he's not angry for he's not quite as angry because of everything else that followed.
And with that, you get the, you get a feeling of a bit of satisfaction on the part of, a weird satisfaction of the part of Christopher. As if he is in agreement with you about his necessity to suffer, but also thinks to himself, it is appropriate. Read once in the Inferno that the deepest circle of hell was reserved for the betrayers. Therefore it is only appropriate. Such a fate for myself. And he kind of grows quiet and stands across from you, Joy, but doesn't dare to approach or even touch you. Just stands there, as if so close, but still many thousands of miles away. With that, Tori, you're also falling through this instance. And your mark begins to burn and itch slightly, and if you hear a voice in the back of your head that is not familiar to you. It's the voice of a very robust gentleman who says, "You are a blight and an abomination on the world. Be that as it may, come with me, and I can give you purpose. I will take you to a place where you will not be hunted, where you will not starve, and where you will not suffer as you have here. You'll be surrounded by those around you that hold a similar goal, to look at those who have once wronged you, and watch them lose everything. And that will be your existence for all of eternity." And you see these flash and these images in your head. This tall gentleman with a long beard, green glowing eyes, dressed and clad with this very stone-like greenish armor. And you watch and you reel back and you see he sits on this massive throne, crown atop his head, scepter in his right, and Gudria as you knew her, but even more beautiful and vibrant, her attire not tattered like it was when you first met her, Standing at his right side, before them, rows and ranks of soldiers kneeling in respect, fear, and admiration of the individual that sits before them. And Gudria finding peace and solace in that. You see these faces of these warriors go by with the years. The tables that they sat, that they had their mighty banquets, where they would drink and sing and be jovial, be merry. And the sorrow she would feel when they would go away through the portals and the holes in the sky, not knowing if they would return. But they always returned. Some would disappear, some would lead better lives. They would always come back with loot from places unexplored and unknown universes. Then they would sing, dance, eat, drink, be merry once more. They would be attacked, and she would lash back. She would protect those who she considered her family. The cycle would repeat for centuries upon centuries. Some warriors becoming old, replaced with new. But one constant, that man sat on the throne who gave her such purpose. Until one day, when they left through the portals and never returned. Eons went by before she heard sight nor sound of any living creature. She stayed in a pond, the deepest, darkest parts of the fortress, cursed to be nothing more than a fixture in a stalagmite-ridden cave, until the feeling of warmth and eyes connecting with the first creature she has seen ever in so long. Her memory of you. And the memory of how she almost lost you. How she sacrificed herself to keep you from dying. And that's where it ends.
Sorry, you were saying Gudria, right?
Yep.
Okay. I've been calling Gluria.
I know it is Gluria. I was thinking of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
No! Fuck. I have it written in my notes as Gluria, but this particular one is known in order to distinguish from my other 12 stat blocks of her that she is Gooby. Howdy.
Oh.
Can I help you?
Also, I'm sorry, you said Batman sitting on a throne, and I just had this.
I can go make this food in just a bit.
No,
If you give me
maybe-
about 30 minutes.
Something came up, yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Alrighty. Sorry about that. I'm back.
No problem. Just checking if you were good to go. Alright.
Yep, I'm good to go.
Gloria. I'm not gonna say that your life was a waste. No. You lived. You had a purpose, and rarely does anyone ever find that in their life. I'm thankful for the man that gave you purpose in your life, but one thing he didn't give you was a dream. He had you live in the present, but he never gave you anything to look forward to. Gloria, when we spoke, when we chatted, told you all about the outside world, gonna take you there, show you there was more to see. Why didn't you just come with me, man? You didn't have to stay anymore. Your duty was done. You served your purpose, now you could have dreamed. I could have shown you a dream. As he's just gonna hug his friend.
And with that, there's this feeling of warmth and value that's rising up within this rather amorphous goo blob that you're holding to your chest. This welling up of sorrow within them that even though your time with them was short, that you would go out to such incredibly dangerous lengths, risking your own safety, for the mere benefit of them, who could have been left unknown to the universe. The most remote location that anyone has ever known.
Told you I'd come back. Were it not for you, I wouldn't have this. As he's gonna just snap his finger and a little blue tattoo would start to appear on his forehead as a hum in Abyssal would start to chant.
And this little goo blob will stretch up and tap themselves to your forehead and resonate with that low hum. Before all of you are sort of jolted in this sphere, having impacted the ground, and have been taken to a new location. Because I didn't put a thing for this, I need a D4. Nice.
Oh well, twinsies.
I'm really appreciative about the 3, because if you guys had rolled a 4, we'd already been there. So I would have needed a reroll.
You could have. Let's just roll a 1d3.
Yeah,
Oh
but it's a
my.
lot easier to just roll D4 and reroll.
Oh, that's so pretty. What the
Place
fuck?
looks crazy.
That's so pretty, narrator. What the hell?
Oh, I appreciate it. I'll probably have to put this up on the recording, but you guys touch down in this place. You guys look above you. There are stone structures above you, like earth, mountainous grounds just covering you overhead. But in the pillar in the very center of this, what appears to be like underdark castle-like mansion, there is this cathedral. A little bit different from that you remember Discovery. A lot different, in fact. But it's a lot more gothic in nature. But the ambience around you once more is just kind of dark, dank, damp, and dreary. And you hear the odd plop of condensation dripping down from the stalactites from up above. You seem to be, or have found yourself, on the lowest level of the Jade Fortress. And everybody just kind of stands around, awestruck, looking in random and different directions and trying to figure out what exactly to go on. There's an archway before you with something of cavernous-like dim lights coming out from it, but around you is just kind of ponds and shallow pools of water and rough granite floors, apart from the part that looks like it's literally built out of the side of this mountain.
Are the ghosts or spirits with us still?
Yes. However, Discovery and Joy,
both of the brands that are on your arms seem to be slowly dissolving. And at this point, about a quarter of them are gone. And it's the same for Lady Aconite and Christopher Goodman.
I have him as Chris H for Chris Human.
Chris Human, yes. Human
yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, because don't make me feel bad for him.
Oh,
He's an ass.
just me. You won't. It's fine. You're not gonna feel it.
Vampire.
You're not gonna feel anything that you're not already gonna feel.
I hate that. Anyways, has Discovery really been down here?
Discovery has not been down this far.
Okay.
Unexplored territory.
Any ruins or interesting features?
A cathedral built out of the side of a mountain of very gothic architectural-like, and the occasional gargoyle. Not moving, just the decoration.
Okay, just looking at the gargoyles, like... Sorry, that's still to GM. Don't know why it is, but, can I, like, kind of see, like, who built this place? Is it still the Jade people, or is it someone older? Also, Joy, our brands are slowly dissolving. They're about a fourth gone.
Yeah, guys, also, can I talk about how big of a dumbass I am real quick?
Sure, what's up?
I never pressed start on the timer for Cosmos.
Oh shit!
Okay, we
Man,
started.
I
we
specifically
started right-
recall. I specifically recall seeing like us getting ready to set up. I looked at the timer. I was just like, "Oh man, I need to tell him that the timer needs to be start if we get too long in." And he hasn't said it yet.
That said, I have been recording for as long as the session has been going, and I'm showing us at exactly 3.5 hours, or exactly 3 hours 32 minutes.
I mean, we
So-
did start on what was it?
We started at 6. We started at 6.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that there and do math later.
Now I pressed the button.
We can add time to the timer.
We can?
I think so. Hold on.
This is.
We'll figure it out
Yeah.
after.
You guys could
Yeah.
tell me, or is it timer adjust?
I think it's a timer update.
Is it timer
Maybe.
adjust? Oh, I see timer adjust minutes.
Oh, perfect.
60, 60 times 3, that's 180, plus 34, 214. Did that do it? That only did it for me. Everybody has to do it for themselves. I'm sorry.
I think you can do it if you do at the player.
Okay. I'll have to... Fuck.
We can work on it later.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and keep going. I can set a timer
I'm
for
sorry.
It's DM or admin only that can adjust timers. Anyway,
So...
we can figure it out later.
Is Gloria also disappearing?
No. In fact, your brand seems to be getting brighter.
Anyway. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Neat. Whatever. Okay. So, and with historical knowledge, you would find that this place is actually relatively new. So it's, you know, its original purpose appears to be as a neat little, well, kingdom. A new kingdom.
Huh. A what kingdom? Sorry.
A new kingdom. Still in the process of being built.
Alright, if you want to keep your eyes open, this is new. Weirdly new. As in... still being built new. So... who's all for going inside and poking at the things? Just me? Alright.
I feel like this is an appropriate time for me to stop being a bird. So Sanctus will unbird. He's a real boy again.
Discovery
I'm
is
a real
heading.
boy, Papa.
Discovery is heading through like the arch.
Think this will follow.
Alrighty.
Corey has accomplished what he needs. He'll follow with the party, being
Yep.
compliant as best he can.
Alrighty, and I
Jacob
need,
and Seek will try and be closer to the front.
alrighty. Now I need to copy paste everybody over from the previous place again. Deedly doo, deedly doo. Oh boy.
No,
Yeah, I'll
for anything. Passive investigation is a 21. So if there's like any traps or anything, can I just be like looking for those? Cause I've been known.
21 is a really good perception for.
It's passive investigation. Oh, right, passive perception. My passive perception is a 9.
Oh,
I have an actually competent passive perception, so if you
As
want
do
Yeah,
I.
but I have that. I have advantage on it, so it would be a 15.
Yeah, wow.
mm.
There's fucking fireworks going on right now? What the fuck?
Oh god, I hate her.
It's the 28th.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always fun to watch.
Every year around
I guess
near my house, people buy fireworks and it goes off for like 3 months. It's
I guess
ridiculous.
it's like
We have a fireworks ban where I am because it's dry as fuck.
I wish.
Okay. So you guys enter into the cathedral. There's kind of a little bit of a lobby area. I need to get rid of Bird Sanctus and put in regular Sanctus.
I put in regular Sanctus on the thing, so you could bring in Bird Sanctus, and I will just delete it.
I already copy pasted everybody. So
yeah.
yeah, there we go. Alrighty, the slide's gonna have a doozy of a time getting places right now. Alright. Hopefully this doesn't die here. Alrighty. So you guys go into the cathedral. There's like a little lobby area that leads to a set of normal-sized double doors that lead to a staircase that goes down further. Despite the grandeur of the outwardness of this kingdom, the inside seems to be very well not finished. As you guys head down the stairs, you find you hear the sounds of what appear to be mining, and tink, 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 as if people are attempting to carve something out of the very earth beneath your feet. But after you descend the staircase and reach the bottom, Jacob, your lion is having a terrible time, man, as it tries to squeeze its way, grinding and scraping against the halls of the stairwell that leads downward, until it finally meets sweet relief when it lands at the bottom, toppling over a few of your ghostly spectre guests. Yeah, they're physical, they're not ghostly, but you know, just for flavor. You guys find yourselves here. The one thing that I didn't have when creating this quest was a linear path.
We need that?
No, but
Hey, we're
just-
good then.
I'm just saying, like, it's not. It wasn't mandatory that you guys came here after that other place, but it also wasn't mandatory that you stopped by that other place on the way there. But it, like, everything is optional.
Hey, I got my Gloria back. Kind of.
Kind of.
She's staying this time, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Alright, what's the plan from here?
I always like the left-hand path. When given the choice of going left or right, I always go left. So let's go that way.
Noted.
Always. There's one path in my heart.
I don't wanna wait for our lives to be over. Was anybody stealthy? By the way, or are you guys just like bum ba da ba da bum ba da ba da bum?
No, not at all.
Unless
Yeah, I mean,
Scooter had told
we're
us.
just chilling.
Jacob's distinctly like, I cannot see a thing right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
poor
Hume
guy.
boy. Everybody stop moving.
I froze as soon as I got solved.
Everybody stop.
Mhm.
Stop. Stop moving. Oh god. You have blind sight. You'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
sure.
need to take 11 minutes and some point to cast telepathic bond. Just throwing that out there. Please don't let me. Please
Why
help
don't
me
you just
remember.
use one of your many spell slots?
It's not prepared.
Now I gotta fucking
It's a
find these
ritual
guys.
spell.
Now I gotta fucking find these guys' passive perceptions.
Helps my passive stealth is pretty high.
Nice.
Mine is decent. My passive stealth is an 18.
If you're gonna take it.
I mean, if you want to, you can, guys. But understand, you guys are a T4 where DCs are like 27.
Hey, my passive stealth is 28.
Yeah.
I think Sanctus will come over to Jacob and offer to cast like light on an object that he has.
That would be helpful, yes. He'll extend out the fucking red bastard sword he has.
Awesomeness, Sanctus will tap it, and suddenly it has this sort of like it flickers like it's supposed to be divine, but like it's more like a black light, if that makes sense. Functions just the same as a normal light, though.
Oh yeah, I knew exactly Sanctus's aesthetic when you explained the half angel, half vampire thing.
It's a black
Look,
light.
man.
It's a black light, and Sanctus, you will be very displeased to see that this entire cave glows for some reason.
I mean, bacteria is normal, right?
Yes, bacteria.
fine.
That's exactly good. Hmm.
Hey,
Just
Beth.
believe it's
That's fine.
bacteria.
Yeah.
What's the range on light?
2020?
Dope.
It is, yep, 20 feet.
Could set me up with that narrative. That'd be great.
Yes, I'm still working on trying to find these guys' passive perceptions because
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
have it on roll 20. There we go. All right, so let's see. Token emits bright light at 20 feet, and low light. Do I have to put the low light at 40 feet, or do I have to put it at 20 feet as well, and it will tack on to the end of the bright light?
For the light cantrip.
Is it Shift
the object said
L? There's it Control
object
L
said-
there. Yeah, that looks like it's good. Yeah, that's just about. Yep, that's accurate. So now, Jacob, you are now lit, and these guys, who, a lot of them look like they're just kind of minding their own business. No, I'll be here all week. Oh, that one is really good. Okay.
Do you want us moving or no?
Not at the moment, as, Discovery, you just, like, walk forward and you see these guys, like, hard at work, and then you're just like, okay, now I'm just gonna take a step back, and then suddenly Sanctus is just like, here, have light. And then there's just, like, a backlight behind you, and you're just
Discovery just
super,
reaches for her sword.
super bright, and then you see this thing.
Oh.
Oh.
Fucking skull brain with bat wings and runes engraved all over it, like turns around and goes,